Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of this video, you'll know whether this is the right or wrong pedal for you. Sorry, I had to. Sorry, groan. I know I had to. But anyway, this is the CORY WONG signature compressor and boost pedal from WAMPLER. You heard it on all those guitar parts in the song at the beginning of the video, and man, does it ever sound good. I really enjoyed this pedal and coming up with those parts, and it came really quickly, that song. I found all I had to do was dial up a straight up clean sound and then plug this in, and you know, it just felt really good and juicy under the fingers once I turned the compressor on to pump up that clean sound. And then once you hit the boost, which is really special, really cool stuff starts happening. So what's the deal with the boost? Well, it can either be a flat boost or a mid-range centric kind of boost that boosts around 550 hertz, centered around there. And I guess the boost is actually derived from the old Fender MDX tone circuit that was in the Eric Clapton signature guitars. And interestingly, also, I think it was the boost circuit initially that was in the Fender Elite Strats of the early 80s, and then the MDX kind of evolved out of that. That's the guitar that Ty Tabor used, and I'm a huge King's X fan, so no wonder I love the sound of the boost in this. But yeah, mid-range boost, centered around 550 hertz, turn it up. I had it up around, you know, at least 1 or 2 o'clock for everything I was boosting with in this video, which is all the lead guitar parts. And it's like addictive, feels great under the fingers, and it's amazing how with this pedal you can kind of just go straight into a standard kind of clean sound, switch between the neck pickup, the bridge pickup on the guitar, hit those switches, and add some compression, add some boost, and you get something that's really juicy and really enhanced out of this pedal. It's a cool one. So let's talk features and stuff, and then we'll get on to the sound examples here. The compressor's quite full featured. Okay, you got your standard kind of compressor controls, a sustain, a volume, that's really like a makeup gain, I guess. But then you've also got a tone control that you can get really sparkly with if you want. Some compressors sound really dark when you turn them on, so I like ones with tone controls that allow you to get some of that high end back that you can lose sometimes. This one just sounds really great. It's also an attack knob, so adjustable tack. That really helps if you want to sort of, you know, the compressor clamp down quicker and feel like everything's getting more compressed, or if you want a little bit more of an always on box, a little bit more open, a little less obviously compressed, you can loosen up the attack time a little bit. There's also a blend knob, and that's really neat because that lets you go all the way from hyper squish, you know, Dynacomp style stuff, all the way to, you know, much more blended in, barely noticeable compression. Once again, if you want an always on kind of thing, it might be nice to blend in some of the dry signal, and you can do that with this pedal. Then once again, you got the boost level knob there with the switch that allows you to go flat or mid boost. On the side here, you get a switch that actually will make the compressor on all the time, regardless of when you hit the switches. And maybe that's because Corey's like, you know, jumping around on stage and stuff, and he doesn't want to deal with like hitting the boost switch, and then maybe he turns off his compressor. That's my guess, is it's probably something he requested. And that's the cool thing about signature pedals. You get some of that artist input there. Then on this side of the pedal, you got an XLR out, because you can go DI with this pedal if you want to, and get some super funky, ultra clean stuff going straight into a recording console. If you get a ground loop, no problem. You got a lift switch right here. And then individual on-off switches there for the compressor and the boost. Okay, so I'm going to play a little bit more through the pedal. I'm going to show you how I got those sounds in the song at the beginning of the video. It is the WONG compressor from WAMPLER and CORY WONG. Okay, so I just cut my first couple parts in that song at the beginning of the video, the main guitar part, and then the first lead guitar part that comes in. And I actually left the settings the same for this. All I did for the solo is just like turn on the boost. And it's almost kind of like having 3 channels. You can get your crystal clean sound, your compressed clean sound, and then boost it and get a little bit of grind going, or a lot of grind depending on how much you turn up the boost. I've only got it on 1 o'clock right now, and it's still like sending the amp into some really cool overdrive. And I'm using the mid boost here on the boost, and that just focuses the sound in the mid range. Is really nice for lead. So I'll show you what I mean. Without the pedal on, here's the sound. Okay, turning on the compression. Just a really great sound, just really beautiful clean sound, evens everything out, makes everything easier to play, and I like that. So what have I got going? Well, I'm boosting up the highs just a little bit to like 1 o'clock with the tone knob. I've got the attack set kind of medium fast, so it's clamping down on my, you know, note pretty quick, but not too quick. I got the volume set right at half, and I hear that as just a little over unity, which is just what I like. When I turn the compressor, I want it to just boost up a little bit, but not too much. I mean, it maybe gets 1 dB louder or something, but of course it brings up all the kind of underneath of the notes, if you know what I mean, and lets everything just ring out and sustain really nice. I've got the sustain up quite high, actually, speaking of which. It's up around like 230 at least, and so I'm kind of piling on the compression, but it just sounds really good with the neck pickup. It's really quite transparent compression, like really, really nice. Speaking of which, you've got this blend control right here, and that lends to that transparency. The more you turn it up, the more compressed signal you're getting, but if you turn it down, you're blending in some dry sound with no compression. So all the way up you hear the most compression for sure. And so I've got it right on about 2 o'clock. It seems like really good for this sound. Okay, so that's my sound that I used for that first part in the song. Now when I turn on the boost, you're going to notice there's 2 controls that become active. This one right here for boost amount, and this one right here for either flat or mid boost. Let's check it out. I like the mid boost setting. It just sounds really nice for, you know, adding a little bit of extra grunt to the note and making it poke through a little bit more. But if you want a straight clean boost setting, you can do that. And once again, of course, you can boost with this pedal with no compression. I mean, the magic is really combining the compressor with the boost. That's what this pedal does so uniquely well, and it just sounds really, really cool. And keep in mind, once again, with nothing on, I mean, my sound is quite clean with nothing on. As soon as I turn on both these, like just great into a clean sound for adding, you know, that smooth grind and what you would normally associate with overdrive. I don't know, you get what I'm saying. It's just like a really soulful, cool sound that allows you to sustain out notes, but it's not a Marshall crunch or some kind of, you know, cascaded tube amp gain going on. It's a completely different thing and just really nice. So I just cut the last little lead in the song at the beginning of the video, and all I did to get this sound was bring the tone control back a bit, bring the boost up a bit. I'm using the mid boost once again. I'm not really doing that much different. I did go to the bridge pickup on my guitar. It might not be the best pedal demo in the world if I don't show you 800 different settings on the pedal, but I've just found a setting that I love, and I think that that is maybe more important. And I love the variety of sound that I'm being able to get just into this straight up clean amp sound. And it works especially well for these harmonics. So check it out. Coming from this to this. Not unlike the sound that I went for on my song Homage on Guitar Nerd, if you know my music. Without any of this compression and boost, you wouldn't have anything going on, really. Pretty boring, but you hit this and things get really interesting. It's really fun. Thanks for watching my video on the WONG compressor from CORY WONG and WAMPLER. Just a terrific sounding compressor. I could see lots of uses for this in stuff that I've been doing lately. Soulful, you know, really cool lead sound is kind of my favorite thing that it does, but it does straight up clean compression really great as well. I enjoyed the heck out of it. You can find out more about this pedal on the link down there in the video description below. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Why not? Come on, it's fun. I like guitars, you like guitars, we talk about guitar stuff. Come back and see me again. Over and out, folks. I am Pete Thorne. See ya.